You know that plastic card you tap every single day to get into work? Yeah, you probably don't give it a second thought. But what if I told you that simple card is packed with some seriously advanced tech, that it's basically a tiny digital fortress? Well, today we're going to crack open the secrets of the modern access card.
Right, so this is not your flimsy old hotel key. We're talking about high-frequency smart cards, like this MIFARE DESFire EV3. It is an absolute marvel of engineering, and it's designed to be completely, totally unhackable and unclonable. But, as we're about to see, that's really only half the story.
To really appreciate just what this little card can do, you gotta look at where we came from. Old magnetic stripes, those low-frequency prox cards, they were notoriously easy to copy. I mean, someone with a little know-how could clone one in minutes. Today's smart cards are a completely different beast. They use heavy-duty cryptography, which makes them dynamic, interactive, and, at least in theory, invincible to being copied.
So, what's the magic sauce? What makes these cards so tough to clone digitally? Well, it all comes down to a process that's kind of like a top-secret digital handshake, and it's all powered by cryptography. Let's break down exactly how that works. Okay, so at its core, you can think of cryptography as the card's armor. It uses incredibly powerful encryption standards, you might have heard of AES, to just scramble all its data. So without the very specific secret digital key, any information someone might intercept between the card and the reader is just meaningless noise. It's complete gibberish. This is its first line of defense.
And here's where it gets really clever. It's not a one-way street. It's something called mutual authentication. So the reader challenges the card, right? But then the card immediately challenges the reader right back. Both of them have to prove they have the secret keys before a single bit of useful data gets exchanged. It's only after this secure digital handshake is complete that the door actually unlocks. This two-way check is exactly what stops a fake card or a fake reader from fooling the system.
Now, here's the absolute crucial point, and this comes directly from the card's own security certification documents. The secret keys never leave the chip. They're used inside the card to do the math, but they are never, ever transmitted. You simply can't steal a key that is never shared. This is the bedrock of the whole system's security, and it's what makes it virtually impossible to clone digitally.
So we've established the card is a digital fortress. It's copy-proof? Case closed, right? Well, this is where we run smack into the great paradox of this amazing technology. We've built the perfect defense, but it might be against the wrong threat.
And this is the question that just changes the entire game. With all of this focus, all this brainpower spent on preventing super sophisticated digital cloning, we've kind of overlooked the simplest, oldest security breach in the book. Plain old physical theft. What happens then?
The truth is, it's brutally simple. The system authenticates the card, not the person. To that reader on the wall, a valid card is a valid card, period. It doesn't matter whose hand is holding it. That perfect, unclonable cryptographic key doesn't care one bit if it was just stolen from a desk or lifted from someone's pocket.
And this isn't just theory. You know, this plays out in the real world all the time. A government report from a few years back showed a major gap. While, yeah, most federal employees got these secure cards, the numbers drop way off for contractors and temporary staff. And with high turnover in those groups, it becomes incredibly difficult to issue, track, and most importantly, get the cards back when people leave. The weak link isn't the tech, it's the human process surrounding it. And that brings us to another huge, often ignored problem. See, the intense focus on having a technologically perfect badge creates these enormous hidden costs and logistical nightmares that can actually undermine the entire system.
The same government report highlighted these exact issues. I mean, just getting a card to a remote employee can require expensive travel. Agencies flat out admitted they couldn't effectively track all the cards they gave to contractors. And what does that mean? It means when a contractor leaves, their card, that perfect unclonable key, might still be inactive. And get this, the cost to upgrade all the physical door readers to actually use these cards properly is so high that it often gets pushed way down the priority list.
You know, there's this quote from Forbes that just hits the nail on the head. We get so wrapped up in meeting a technical standard and having the best card that we check a box and we feel safe. But what we're really doing is creating a false sense of security because we're ignoring the real dynamic threats, like a disgruntled ex-contractor just walking right back in with their valid, unrevoked badge. Okay, so if the perfect badge isn't the magic answer, then what is? Well, the solution isn't to just throw the technology away. It's to look beyond the card itself and build a much smarter, more complete security process around it.
It really requires a shift in our mindset. So instead of focusing just on the object, the badge, we need to focus on the entire process. Security shouldn't be about checking off items on some static compliance list. It should be about dynamically reducing real-world risk. It's about having layers of defense, not relying on a single magic bullet.
So, what does this actually look like? First, integrate your systems. When someone in HR marks an employee as terminated, their badge access should be shut off instantly, automatically, no delays. Second, layer your defenses. A secure badge is great, but it's even better when it's paired with a camera that verifies the right person is using it. And finally, it's about shifting the whole culture to focus on actual, tangible risks, like that unreturned contractor badge we keep talking about.
Because at the end of the day, this is what you have to remember. We can spend a fortune creating an unclonable key, but if we're just leaving it lying around for anyone to pick up and use, we have fundamentally missed the entire point of security. We've built the perfect defense against a threat that, a lot of the time, isn't even our biggest risk. I really hope this breakdown gave you a new perspective on that little piece of plastic in your wallet. If you want more explainers that cut through the complexity of the world all around us, make sure you subscribe. Thanks so much for tuning in.